Hello and welcome, my Aquarius friends. This is Jennifer from Mystic Star. I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today and watching this video. This is going to be a group reading for October's Mercury Retrograde for my Aquarius friends. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we just exited a Mercury Retrograde and here we go entering into a new one. I'm not going to go into what Mercury Retrograde is. There's a lot of great websites out there talking about the scientific phenomenon and the effects of Mercury Retrograde. What we're going to really focus on is how Mercury Retrograde is going to impact my Aquarius friends and what my Aquarius friends can do to overcome and lessen some of those challenges and obstacles that you're going to face. We can't control how Mercury Retrograde affects and impacts people. However, we can control how we respond to the situation. And that's what I want to give you is some tools and strategies and mapping as to what to expect and things that you can do to respond. The deck I chose for this reading is the Tarot de la Nuit, or the Tarot of the Night, and then I'll be ending the session off with a blessing from the Oracle of the Shapeshifters. Like always, there's links below to both these fantastic decks, so should they speak to you, you can go check them out for yourselves. Okay, my Aquarius friends, see what the cards have to say. What card symbolizes Mercury Retrograde for my Aquarius friends? The Five of Wands. Fives are always a conflictual number. They're about that struggle, that conflict. Wands about that inner fire. The Five of Wands talks about that conflicting passions and how it impacts us. We already know that Mercury Retrograde is going to impact our relationships and our communication. The Five of Wands talks about how our passions are going to be involved as well. This is going to not only be an emotional time, you're going to find that there's competing and conflicting passions and that fiery energy. So what may not just only be a hurt becomes a hurt and a very nice argument as well. This feeling and energy is going to oversee everything that we start to pull now. So let's look at the first week of Mercury Retrograde. What can my Aquarius friends expect during the first week of Mercury Retrograde? That's the Nine of Pentacles. Nines are about all that hard work, all that you've achieved in your life so far. That first week is going to really bring about some negative self-talk and doubt. Mercury Retrograde doesn't only impact external communications, it can really impact internal. So we start to do lots of negative self-talk, doubting ourselves, doubting our abilities, and also doubting what we have. All those doubts are really going to impact and kind of overwhelm that first week. Let's look at the second week. What can my Aquarius friends expect in the second week of Mercury Retrograde? The Ace of Pentacles. Aces are a gift. Pentacles about that growth and abundance. What you think may be a great idea that will be very lucrative will not pan out as much as you wanted in the second week. If things are going to be as lucrative as what others say they are, hold it off until after Mercury Retrograde. Because when you can start to critically think and look over what's happening, that's when you're going to find that whether or not that idea or gift is going to be as lucrative as you'd hoped and what they had said. All right, let's look at the third week. What does the third week bring for my Aquarius friends? That's the Four of Swords. Fours are a stable, foundational number. Swords are about truth and knowledge. The Four of Swords talks about rest and rejuvenation. In the third week, you're going to find that you're going to be very restless and that the information isn't as helpful as you'd hoped. Things are going to not line up as you'd hoped, and you're going to find that there's going to be a lot less truth in the knowledge that is shared. On the good side, the Four of Swords also goes into the last day of Mercury retrograde. That will be a day where you're going to feel things go, oh, finally. Because you will start to feel that stability and that rejuvenation rush in. It's kind of going to give you your universal wake-up call that, yep, Mercury retrograde is now finished. Let's look at what my Aquarius friends can do to overcome Mercury retrograde. So what can my friends do, my Aquarius friends do for the first week? How can they overcome the challenges brought on by Mercury retrograde? It's a fantastic card. The King of Swords. Mercury retrograde brings in communication problems, and now we have that passion conflicting with it as well. You need to really work from your head, not your heart. The swords here, we've got the sword here and the sword here. Where the Four of Swords is being impacted, the King is not. How this works is that when you're looking at situations, events and situations happen. The swords are not impacted emotionally by it. We are. We attach emotion. And it's that emotion that is causing problems. The King of Swords is void of that emotion. He is pure knowledge. Kings are the most fully developed personality. They have the most control of their suit. He's not in any way impacted by emotion. That's a silly thing for him. So that knowledge piece is going to be what really helps drive you out of this week, or these 3 weeks. Drives you out of your head. He will also help drive some kind of stability into these emotions that you're feeling. Those critical thinking skills, that reflecting, stepping back, taking a moment and actually looking at what's happening will help pull you out of well, not only the first week, but the entire Mercury retrograde. All right, let's look at the second week. What will help my Aquarius friends overcome the challenges of the second week, got a jumper, of Mercury retrograde? Got a second jumper. So you get 2 for the price of 1 on the second week. The first one is the 10 of Cups. 10s are a completion number and a beginning number. Cups talks about that intuition and emotion. It also connects into your family. Historically, when the original deck, Pamela Coleman Smith, put a rainbow of 10 arched cups with a family dancing underneath. That stability of family is going to be key. Yes, there's going to be miscommunications and misunderstandings. You work through the King and it's going to lessen. But that foundation that the family has brought you is going to be really important. And it may not only be your family, your physical family, but it can be also your astral family and your spiritual posse that's behind you. Those beings will help create that stability you're looking for. Especially when you're looking at your astral family and your spiritual posse, because we are dealing with the Cups, which is an intuitional and emotional number. The next one is the 2 of Pentacles. 2s are about duality and choice. Pentacles about earth and abundance. Growth and abundance. They're associated with the element of earth. Not only will that connection into spirit help you, but being balanced and reminding yourself of the importance of grounding and keeping yourself balanced. It's going to be harder to remain and stay in balance as Mercury retrograde goes through. So being very mindful of that will help push you forward and push you through Mercury retrograde. Let's look at the final week. What will help my Aquarius friends through the final week of Mercury retrograde? Okay, you have a couple jumpers again. The first one is the Three of Pentacles. Threes are about expression and growth. That pentacle is back with that growth and abundance. This is about that trade, that honing your skills, that craftsmanship. Using those skills and knowledge that you have and that you've achieved, because we know we've achieved quite a lot, will help move you through to that final stage of Mercury retrograde. The card that jumped out was the Moon. Now the Moon is the 18th card in the Major Arcana, and it talks about those mysteries and unknowns. It also talks about that connection into the goddess and that feminine energy. And that's going to be a good part of that too. Sure, there's going to be a lot of mystery and unknown. However, when we start to look at that nurturing aspect of the goddess, we're going to find that we're at more peace and at ease with things. We're going to really need that rest and rejuvenation. We're going to long for it come the third week, and we're not going to get it. But nurturing and caring for ourselves, making sure we're balanced and grounded, will help. Need and desire for that rest and rejuvenation, you'll have it on a different level. All right, let's look at what the major skill and support my Aquarius friends will need to overcome the challenges brought on, got a jumper, by Mercury retrograde. Okay. And that's the Ace of Cups. We've had an Ace of Pentacles. This is the Ace of Cups, the Holy Grail of Cups. That nurturing and rejuvenation is going to come here. Really embracing and connecting in not only to your intuition, but to that rejuvenation piece is going to be key. We have double ones. In angel messages, what they're saying is that you're attracting what you're thinking. Focusing in on that positive, universal, unconditional love will bring that back. Now, if you start to focus in on those feelings of miscommunication and misdirection and conflict, that's what you're going to get. That's the reminder, that's why we have the double ones, that you need to project what you want, not what's happening to you. All right. What final jumper information can we share with my Aquarius fans regarding Mercury retrograde? Got another jumper. The first one, and that's the Angel of the Night, Angel de la Nuit. Sometimes different tarot decks, what they do is they like to create a tarot deck specific card, and that's what that card is. This card talks about coming out of the shadow and into the light. That need to embrace that love and light aspect. With it came the Two of Wands. Twos are about duality and choice. Wands about that passion, that inner fire. There's going to be a lot of decisions that you need to make. Your passions can help you as long as that you're not having those conflicting and competing pieces. The King will help kind of hone that out. The Five of Wands is also talking about not only your competing passions, but other people's competing passions. This has to be yours, not theirs, your passions that will drive and push you forward. We do have double twos. So in angel messages, what the angels are asking you is to keep the faith. Listen to your intuition and keep going. All right, let's look at your shadow card. The message your shadow self has for you is the Three of Wands. Threes are about expression and growth. Wands are about that inner passion. Whereas when you're looking at the Two of Wands, it's about being at a crossroads. You need to make those choices. Three is about moving forward. It's the action phase of two, if you will. Your shadow self is saying that when you get going on this, you're going to find that it is going to align more with your life's purpose and soul journey. We do also have double threes. Hard to see because we have so many cards. In angel messages, when you have double threes, you're looking at something close to your heart that really needs to be expressed. And as you start to really embrace some of these coping strategies, you're going to find that that is going to come out. It's going to come out in the Two of Wands and in the Three of Wands. All right, my Aquarius friends, let's look at a blessing. What blessing can we share with my Aquarius friends? Got a jumper? This Mercury retrograde. Okay. Butterflies in gloom. After sadness, happiness and hope returns. Mercury retrograde always brings about those sad and hard feelings because it impacts our communication and it impacts our lives in so many ways. There is light, literally, at the end of the tunnel. Focusing in on that, this is 3 weeks. It does not need to be something that you dread. We've got double aces here. The angels are reminding you what you put out is what you're going to get in. Instead of dreading this, embrace the changes and the strategies and tools that you're going to learn as you go through this 3 weeks. For those who wish, you can pause the video here and reflect on these cards. This is a group reading, however I drew these cards and some of these cards jumped out especially for my Aquarius friends. What further information do they have? If you're looking for a more personal or specific reading, you can schedule a private reading with myself by following the link below. For those who are interested, I will be running online introductory and interactive classes over the next couple of months. The first class will be on November 11th, where I'll be running my Introductions to Angels and Archangels class. Then on December 9th, I'll be running my Introduction to Connecting, which is a channeling class. If you are interested in both or either of these classes, you can find out more information and register on my website. I provided a helpful link below to my classes page, so you can go directly there and check it out. I hope you found this video fun and helpful, and that you were able to gain some direction and insight into what to expect from Mercury retrograde. I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today and watching my video. I will continue to create fun and dynamic videos for my zodiac friends. If you have any suggestions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. I'm always up for feedback from my friends. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest content. You never know where I'm going to go next, and I'd hate for you to miss a video. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page with many tiers and lots of perks. In some of the tiers, the perks are private readings with myself. I provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out. Until tomorrow, my Aquarius friends.